Hello, my little pretties. What is up? It's your mistress, the Queen of Lions here. And today we are at episode 46 of Shadows and Pretties. Now, today we are going to do How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And yes, it's a holiday special that was based on the book by Dr. Seuss. Of course, Dr. Seuss writes really good stories. Like most of you guys have probably read the book as a young kid. So I am going to be doing the Christmas special, which was released in 1966, the year my mom was born in. And we are also going to be doing the Jim Carrey movie. I'm not going to go too much into detail about the 2018 one because I have not seen it. So we're just going to stick with that. So, now, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas book is pretty much the same. However, it's about a grouchy cave-dwelling creature who hates Christmas, and his only companion is an unloved but loyal dog named Max, who resides, of course, the snowy Crumpet, and is located in the north town of Whoville. And of course, the book was released around 1957. Yes, that was the same year my dad was born in. And of course, with that being said, a lot of kids really liked the book as a young kid, and they really do adored it, and of course they read it a lot. So, the book did get very popular since it was a book written by Dr. Seuss. So I can definitely say, Dr. Seuss did a really good job with this. So, we're gonna get on with the plot of the Christmas special. So, the Grinch, who is a grouchy creature who has a heart whose size is too small, lives alone in a cave with Max, the dog, and he especially hates Christmas, who has always been annoyed with the town's celebrations. So once on Christmas Eve, he finally decides to stop Christmas Day from coming to Whoville by disguising himself as Santa Claus, but his dog Max as a reindeer, and all of his reversals of Santa's visits steal all of the gifts, decorations, symbols of Christmas, and once he loaded his plans on dumping the bags of stolen goods, his plan was then nearly twitted by a toddler named Cindy Lou Who. But, of course, as the Grinch reaches the Mount Crumpet, ready to dump the bags, and he discovers the citizens of Whoville. Despite not having no gifts or decorations, or have gathered around the middle of town to sing the Christmas Day dawns, realizing that Christmas means more than just material possessions. So the Grinch's heart grows to 3 times sizes, saves his sleigh, and then he returns the presents and the belongings to the Who's, who joins the town celebration by carving the roast beast. That's basically what the plot of this is about. I could definitely say I really do like how this went out. It was like a really good, well-made concept for this story. Now, and that's kind of why one of the songs called You're the Mean One, Mr. Grinch was a pretty popular musical at that time. So, with that being said, I am going to talk about the Jim Carrey movie, which came out in 2000. And yes, most of you guys probably have seen the Christmas special as a young kid, the cartoon one, but I'm sure most of you guys have seen the Grinch. Like, most of you guys probably have seen this one back when you were, a kid. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen this as a kid. So I haven't seen this movie in a very long time. So I can definitely say this movie was actually pretty good. So the movie itself, I am going to sit there and, explain what the plot of the movie is about. Just so in case if you guys are like wondering about it, I'm going to sit there and explain what it is. So, with that being said, if you have not seen this movie, I'm going to warn you right now that I'll be spoiling pretty much everything about this movie. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you leave this video right now. Of course, let's begin. So, of course, all the Who's at Whoville are enjoying celebrating Christmas, just like how the original plot is. However, the Grinch arrives in Whoville as a baby who is adopted by 2 elderly women. And of course was a timid child who had a crush on Martha May, whoever one of the prettiest girls in school, who showed empathy towards him and bully Augustus Mayhew. However, he was jealous that Martha liked the Grinch more than him. And of course is struck to mock him by having a beard, and because of this, on the Christmas day of the school's party, the Grinch then cuts his face while attempting to shave, which to his classmates, except Martha, begin to laugh at him, and this causes the Grinch to lose his temper, and declares that he hates Christmas, and he fled on top of the Mount Crumpton of Whoville, where he then took up residence. So I guess maybe that's just how, the Grinch became to be like that in the original book and possibly in the cartoon as well, which is no doubt about it that this would be the case. I do feel bad for the Grinch right here. Like, I really do feel bad for him. So, with that being said, I'm gonna sit there and, no, just say that now. I do feel bad for the Grinch for being bullied and all that, which I have no doubt about it, because I'm sure most of you guys have been bullied as a kid. I'm sure most of you guys have got cyberbullied or bullied, in person, like in school. Feel free to leave me in the comments below. And I'm eating this granola cereal, which is why you're hearing me these sounds. But of course, years later, nobody liked the Grinch because of his mean-spiritedness, especially at Christmas time. However, though, 6-year-old Cindy Lou, who believes that everyone is missing the point about Christmas, focusing too much on the gifts and festivals and a little on the personal relationships, she encounters the Grinch at the post office and later discovers his tragic past. So Cindy decides to nominate the Grinch to be the town's holiday cheermeister, much to the displeasure of Augustus Mayhew, who is now the mayor of Whoville. Cindy wants to climb on top of Mount Crumpton to invite the Grinch to the celebration. He eventually accepts as cheermeister, but the Grinch participates in several events that begins to have fun. However, Mayor Who spoils everything by giving him an electric razor as a present, reminding him of his childhood and illumination. But that's when the mayor publicly proposes his marriage to Martha, giving her a graduated engagement ring. Enraged with this, the Grinch berates the Who's for the materialism by telling them that Christmas is only about gifts and will end up throwing them in the garbage, which is dumped in Mount Crumpton near his home. So he burns down the tree. The Who's, however, have a spare, goes on the rampage before returning home to Mount Crumpton. So, finally fed up with the Who's Christmas, the Grinch decides to escort a plan to crush the Who's Christmas spirit by stealing all their presents, decorations, and food while they're sleeping. So yeah, basically just like the original cartoon and stuff like that. You could really definitely say they were inspired and they decided to add certain stuff just to make it more, well, interesting to say the least. So he disguises himself as Santa Claus and dresses his dog Max up as a reindeer and then descends to Whoville, who at the first house to enter was Sydney's, and lies to Cindy when she catches him stealing the tree. Allowing him to escape, the Grinch continues stealing all the gifts, decorations, and food, and stuffing them all in a large sack before climbing on top of the tree. Him stealing the tree, allowing him to escape. So basically, back at the top of Mount Crumpton, destroy all of it by pushing the sack off the side. When the Who's wake up Christmas morning, they were horrified to discover the theft, and the Mayor Mayhew, who blames Cindy for letting the Grinch ruin the holidays for the town. However, her cheerful father, for town postmaster Lulu Who, comes to his daughter in defense by explaining to the mayor that all the other Who's who finally figured out who Cindy was trying to tell the whole town. Christmas is mainly about getting together with family and friends, not just gifts and fancy decorations. Who agrees with Cindy Lou and decides to start singing Whoville's Christmas Carol. So meanwhile, before the Grinch can push his sack off the stolen gifts off of Mount Crumpet, he hears the Who sing and realizes that he's failed to prevent Christmas. But with that being said, of empathy, he finally realizes that the true meaning of Christmas causing his heart to grow 3 sizes. He ended up taking the sleigh full of gifts and begins making over the edge, and Cliff, along with Cindy Lou, who had to spend Christmas with him, who had come to do that, the Grinch ended up gets the strength to let the loaded sleigh and carry Cindy to safety. On the ride down the mountain and return to everything. So the Grinch finally apologizes for his pranks and the burglary and for surrendering himself to the police, who accepts his apology and denied the mayor's request to arrest. And of course, pepper spray the Grinch. So Martha, of course, turns down the proposal and he returns his engagement ring to him, declaring that her heart belongs with the Grinch. So afterwards, the redeemed Grinch joins the Who's in celebration of feast, and of course, that's basically how the story ends. What a really great story. I'm definitely going to say that right now, that I really do like how this story went out. It was a really well-made story. I really have to say Jim Carrey in this one did a really good job. I could definitely say Jim Carrey did a really good job with this story. I could definitely say that was actually pretty interesting when come to think of it. So, I know I'm not going to touch it too much, but I will talk about the Grinch from 2018. I'm not going to go too much into detail because basically the whole thing is just pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. So, I'm not going to go into too much detail with it because it's like basically CGI animation. Like, I'm not saying nobody can do good on CGI animation as long as they have their time and effort into it. Then yeah, sure enough, that could be possible. But however, that's just, I don't know what to say about this one. So I'm going to say, it's basically the same thing. However, it's just basically the same thing. Like, I don't know why they had to remake this, like, the second time. Like, the Jim Carrey one did pretty good, in my opinion. Now, of course, with that being said, I'm just going to say, well, but why did they have to remake this the second time? I know it's a 3D animation based on the book, but I don't understand why they had to sit there and remake it for the second time. Like, the first time they did it with Jim Carrey, it was actually pretty good. So, and the reason why I'm also not going to touch it too much is because I'm all right with it, but it's just not the same as the first two. I will definitely agree. And I will definitely say this now, that if you like this movie, I could respect your opinion if you like the 2018 remake. But we can all agree that the Jim Carrey one was actually one of the best remakes of The Grinch. So I'm definitely saying that right now. There's definitely a lot of time and effort into this movie, and this movie did a great job. Now, I could definitely say there were a couple flaws in there, here and there, but other than that, it was actually a really well-made story, and that's definitely a good thing. Because, most remakes don't really put time and effort, but some actually had sense on sitting there and doing that, rather than sit there and just throw random crap here and there. So, with that being said, the moral of the story is because of this. So, the moral of the story is basically Christmas is not just about presents, and fancy gifts, and all that. It's about, celebrating the day Jesus was born. It's also about getting together with friends and family and share a good time. So, that's actually what became of Christmas. And I definitely have to say, this was actually really good and well made. And I definitely have to say it was actually pretty awesome in a matter of ways. It was actually sweet. It was a really good special. So, I like the 1996 one. I like the Jim Carrey one. Those two were really good movies. And I definitely have to say, I really do appreciate that. So, with that being said, I'm going to sit there and, explain this right now, that this is simply my own personal opinion on these movies. If you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. If you guys can let me know in the comments, do you like the Jim Carrey one? Do you like the 1966 special? Do you like the 2018 movie? Leave me down what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. Oh, and I really like all of them. They're really well made. So 10 out of 10 for the original cartoon, 10 out of 10 for Jim Carrey, and I don't know what to think of the 2018 remake. I'm not going to give it a rating because I've not seen it, but if I do end up seeing it, I will give it a rating eventually. So, with that being said and done, what did you guys think of these movies and specials? You all enjoyed them? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make these these movies and special a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Shadows and Pretties. If you happen to be brand new here on this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that you guys will not miss an upload. As always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here, and I'll be catching you all in the next video. So peace out, everyone, and I'll see you later.